This is a video by Richmond. Today we're working on a Ford Taurus. This happens to be a 2007 model, and what we're doing today is we are removing the radio and instrument cluster. First thing we need to do is remove the negative battery cable from the battery. Now once we do that, we can start by removing the radio, and you'll need some special removal tools to do that, like I have here. Now, right here on the radio, we have some holes in this piece right here that will insert these horseshoe pieces. And we need to push out on them like to the outer edge. There we go. A little finagling. Some of these come out better than others. Okay. Now we're going to remove all our connections. And there are quite a few of them. And then you got your vacuum switch over here. Oops, okay. There's the vacuum switch. And our last electrical connector. Okay. There's our radio. She's all out. Plus your heater controls and oh wow, look at that, a CD player. Wow. Who uses CD players anymore? Okay, now let's start working on the cluster. Next thing we need to do is remove this panel underneath the steering column. There is a 8mm headed bolt here, and there is an 8mm headed bolt right there. We need to remove those now. Now once we get those bolts removed, use our panel remover. One clip on that side, and one on the other side, right there. Next thing we want to do is to remove these 5 7mm headed bolts behind where the radio was. We need to remove those now. Now you do not have to remove this panel fully to get the instrument cluster out. But if you want to, in my case I'm going to do that. It's just a couple of extra screws. And to do that you want to remove the ashtray. And underneath the ashtray you will see 2 7mm headed bolts right in there, right there, and over here. Remove those and you can remove this panel all the way. Now once those screws are out, you just take this plastic piece, you got a little tug, come right out, and if we look over here we will see an electrical connector right here. remove that, and once we do, we can get that piece out of the way. Next thing we want to do is set our emergency brake, chock the wheels, and move the shifter all the way down into first gear. Next thing we need to do is to remove the headlight switch. There's a little slot right here in the bottom. Now this one's going to hang up, so we have to get our little screwdriver above the dimmer. There we go. That little clip right there likes to hang up a little bit. So now we have to remove our electrical connectors. That one. Okay. Our headlight switch is all removed. Next thing we need to do is to remove this 7mm headed bolt. This one up here and this one over here, and I've already tilted the steering wheel all the way down to its lowest position. Alright, all our screws are out, so now we can remove our bezel. That's that side. Now, you get it out this far and you have a little wire right here that goes to these switches, and that's it. The bezel's all out. This little hook piece right here hangs up a little bit underneath there, so you gotta push down and pull that back. That's it. Next thing we need to do is to remove this 7mm headed bolt, this one. And if we go over here, that one right there, and that one right there. And we need to remove those now. Next thing we need to do is to remove these two T15 bolts that hold in the shift indicator in the dash cluster. Screws are out. Slide that indicator down so it's out of our way. Now we have to get this out here so we can remove this electrical connector right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Okay. Let's get a small screwdriver here. Press in that lock, slide that baby back, and there it is. There is our instrument cluster. Look at this, they got a cover on here. There are some bulbs. I see one here, one there. I see 5. It looks like The warning lights are probably all LEDs. Yep. Okay. That's it. That's all there is to removing a radio and instrument cluster on the Ford Taurus.